What's going on, everybody? Day two. Look, 2 days in a row, me live. That don't happen too often, but you know what? We'll take what we can get. Um, Today, hopefully, we're gonna have Lex on, and we're gonna chat with her a little bit, and we're gonna. What's up, Miss? How are you? How you doing? Yeah. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the podcast, the who paid in the who peed in the wait. Okay. Oh, Miss Lex is here. Okay. Who peed in the dating pool? Let's try that again. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna have a little dialogue. So should be dope. On. Give me a second, you guys. What's up, Lex?
Ah,
How you doing?
hi Regan.
Hello, Miss. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Oh my God. Okay, so now I just got my eyebrows done and they're like peeling, and I can see
Uh,
for the first time.
So, anyway, yeah, me too.
No,
See?
you did not get
No,
your
uh,
eyebrows done. You
I'm
did
just
not.
saying.
But I did just
You
get my
know, I
eyebrows
mean, it could
done.
happen. You never know. You never know. Hey. Anyway, I'm glad. I'm so happy to have you on. It's dope that you're here. Everybody wants to hear from you. Everybody who's been listening to the podcast, checked out the live. Like, who's this Lex? I'm like, Lex. Everybody should know who you are. So you're here, and I'm gonna let you tell a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the podcast, and this should be dope.
I know I did see that you were
Happy to
on
have you.
live yesterday and I was not there, so they probably were questioning you. Like, you sure you don't have an imaginary friend? So
I know I do have an imaginary friend, so whatever. My peoples. It is what it is.
Yes.
So
Okay. So thank you for having me, and thank you for definitely bringing this project or this conversation, this dialogue to my attention because I'm Alexis, and I guess we could give like a backdrop of who I am and how long I've known you. So I've known you for what, 20 years now. So I've
yeah,
met
about that.
you about 20 years ago, and I don't think we've ever, it's funny that we're now reuniting and talking. And as we're talking, because of our views, based whether it's political or anything that you post on Instagram, I think it just brought us closer together, like our mindsets of the same things that we're interested in. So for me, dating has been probably not my most favorite thing to do. And I'm sure there's thousands of other Americans who could agree with me that dating is not
Yeah,
fun. I don't think
yeah,
anyone enjoys it when they're put in the situation to have to. And I don't think anyone has the right, or I think in our society, it's very hard to know what is the right way to date. Like what does that consist of? And so to be here and host and or to discuss this, I think that it would be one, not, I don't think it's fun. I think it's going to be very challenging. I think it's uncomfortable to talk about some of these things. But two,
right.
I think that it will be beneficial for both and all individuals who are in the dating pool to utilize these discussions so that they can now use the perspective for themselves, like whatever perspectives that's being brought out in our conversations, or people who are coming on to the podcast to discuss what is going on for them. I hope that this information or even these stories help you guys have a be more kind to yourself when you're out here dating, right? And two, I hope that people also learn from it, hear the other side. I think this platform would be awesome so that whether it's women talking to the men in the dating pool that they're going on dates with, I think that this should be I wouldn't say a mediation, but like a place that's balanced to be able to hear what each others are kind of like sharing. Like if I'm sharing what it's like for me to date, then hopefully fellas are listening in to say, hey, okay, then this is what I need to change. And also for women, I think if men are saying, hey, this is what it's like I can tell you one thing I did hear about men dating right now. The biggest topic
Okay.
about men dating is that when they go on dates with women, the women do not look like themselves on the
Oh,
date.
the catfish. Oh
Yes.
yeah, the
Well,
catfish thing. Oh, no question. No.
I think women are being catfished too, but I think people are being catfished in general. But I
Right.
did
Okay.
hear that
Okay.
men, they they go on these dates with women and like they don't look nothing like what they like. They use the filters. A lot of people are using filters, so like they
Facts.
can't even
Right.
I
Facts.
mean, the filter does modify what your face looks like, sometimes even the shape of your face and everything. So then when you're going on a date, you're not the same complexion, you're not the same anything.
You're
So
not the same race.
yeah, you
Like, I thought I was dating an Asian. What happened? No. I'm saying, but yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I
yeah.
feel you.
So I'm just saying, like, I'm just bringing about like these. I'm just saying that this dating is just not about love, right? It's first of all,
All right.
you shouldn't even be considering love. I think that dating is just a place, a word in a place that we don't really know where that exists right now. Dating exists all online, right? So online is the platform that people are going to even begin a dating process. So
Mm-hmm.
people are just like, it's just like, I don't know, it's like playing charades. Like you don't even know what you're gonna get. It's like a pop-up
All
card,
right.
and it's just like this mystery expectation. And then some people have been dating for 5 years. I mean, at that point, are you really dating, or have you just become a habit of being with taking, I wouldn't say taking advantage, but you know you have the opportunity now to be with various people for a duration of time. So it's like you don't, these are things that no one knows. And I think when people are freshly coming out of relationships, it's like, yeah, where do you go to find the next person that you want to socialize with? Because socialization has changed also. Since the beginning, you know, we don't even socialize the same. Everything that we do is through, like right now I'm socializing with you through live on Instagram. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we're just, I mean, right now the tool that we do use is online, but then again, how I don't think people register what the tone and the setting and the expectation should be based on the first date. Like what should really be occurring on the first meeting, the second meeting, the third meeting, you know. And it just, again, some people have been out here for a long time, so I would say they're veterans. Like they
All
know that
right.
they've been out here, you know, and they have no anticipation on really taking it serious with you. So again, these are the things that I hope that for me, if I'm going to have a conversation with you about dating and I'm going to personalize it to myself, I would say, hey, if I was going on an online dating like blah blah blah, I want to know off the bat, are you just here for the moment? Like, are we, you know what I'm saying? Or are you, where are you in your life? Are you really trying to settle down, or you're not trying to settle down and you just like the idea of being with someone different all the time? These are like forward questions that you kind of have to ask and hope that the person is true to themselves to answer that responsibly to the person that they're going on a date with.
So where does that begin? Does that begin from the initial conversation? Does that begin from the initial date? Because personally, from my perspective, I think it should begin somewhat towards the beginning. Like when you meet a person, you start to ask somewhat probing questions, not too much. You don't want to be creepy, but you want to ask questions that pertain to whatever compatibility that you or she may have. So you start asking those questions, and sometimes those questions may lead you to a red flag or two. And do you continue as a male or female to go forward when you see that red flag? Like, okay, this about this, or do you say, you know what? Okay, maybe I'm being a little too hard on him, and should I give her a try, regardless of whatever red flag popped up during that process?
So again, I think that this can happen as early as whoever, like for me, I'm going to have that conversation even if it's right here on the screen with you right now. Like I
All
don't
right,
have to wait, because if I know clearly I've had enough experience in my past to know what I like and what I don't like. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
So
Hmm.
like, I would say that if so, someone brought this up, and this is going a little off topic, but they talked about like Will and Jada, for example. We're going to use them as an example. So Will and Jada, and they say, oh well, she cheated on him. No, stop. I need you to pause for a second. She didn't cheat on him. They're being loyal to each other, because if you have a pre-existing communication with someone that you agree, it's like a contract. I'm being
Right,
loyal to
right,
that contract, right? Like,
right, right, right.
so it's not, but what people do is, and I would say the bystanders, which are your friends, which are people that you're around, that society input. Oh well, this is what should be
Right.
happening, and I think that gets diluted into what you are really accepting. Does that make sense? Like, so it's like, for example, if I'm saying that I am a girl, and where I am in my life right now as a woman, whether I'm 22 or 23, and I'm basically expressing I don't want to be, because I'm challenged or I'm struggling with love, I prefer to just have a friends with benefits situation. If I'm the
Hmm.
person initiating that, I'm going to share that with the counterpart person that I'm engaging with, and I'm going to say, hey, how do you feel about that? And like I said, things can always change, but again, it's the importance of communication as you're going along.
Absolutely.
So
I
what
think that's
people
the
don't
problem
do
men
is
have.
they're not honest with that. They
Oh, you're right. You're
they
right.
take the opportunity of a free they take opportunity of an available person who they're engaging
Mhm.
with, because they may be attracted to that person. And you know what? Instead of me being honest and thoughtful or mindful of this person, even though I know my intentions, I'm not going to be honest about where I am, and I'm going to cling to this engagement because, again, I think it's selfishly, but that's my opinion. I selfishly want to be I want something from this person because I'm attracted to it.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Like what I'm
Oh, I mean, that's basically the dynamic of 60% of the males out there. They want that, but a lot of times they feel if they express that, they won't get that because honesty. They feel that the honesty could basically hamper their chances of doing that because they feel that most women are looking for something specific. They're looking for that relationship. They're looking for that bond. And if a man wants that physical relationship as opposed to the connection that he feels that she may want, if he tells her what he does want, he feels that he won't have success. So he kind of leaves that piece out because if he's trying to get to, home base or whatever, he's not going to get that if he's honest. So a lot of times that piece of the puzzle was left out because you're not going to get to the ultimate goal. And if you're looking for just a physical relationship, more often than not, if you're honest like that, men feel that they won't get that, which is not true because a lot of times if you're honest with someone and you tell them where you stand, it's like, listen, I'm looking for a physical relationship, what have you. She may be looking for a physical relationship as well. And you don't know until you ask. But a lot of people don't want to risk that. You don't want to risk it, then you feel like I'm losing this opportunity for this physical relationship, so they're not going to be honest. But I think that's what you said before about the communication. As soon as you start to introduce the communication aspect, then things become a little clearer. And even if you don't succeed with this particular one, you get in the habit of communicating openly, and the next person down the line, if that's where you want to go, it might be successful because you get used to being honest and forthcoming with whomever you're with. And that's what the problem is, I think, is just as like you mentioned before, the communication. The communication is not necessarily there, and without it, I mean, you run into these obstacles, and it's difficult, especially for men. A woman can say that, and a guy be like, "Word, okay, great." I've been looking for you my whole life. Where you been?
okay,
But
but
it's
this is what I'm
difficult.
saying. So when you to that point, when you say word, I've been looking for you my whole life, a part of you is definitely admitting and or laying out on the table, I really don't want to be in a committed relationship, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not so much committed. I think people are afraid of commitment.
Titles. The titles.
Yeah, like I think yes, it's the titles. Commitment
Right.
is something we do as human beings, and I don't know why people are afraid of commitment, because you're committed. You're committed to something every day, whether it's a relationship or it's school or it's.
Mm-hmm.
We all have
Yeah.
commitments. We all have a
Wow.
commitment. It's just choosing